Oh, hello. Talk about unprepared. Get the mic, get the lights, and action. Hello there, everybody. Good morning. Nice to see you. Welcome to today's live lesson. It's all about work and meetings. We're going to look at lots of vocabulary, some idioms, some listening and pronunciation practice. I think you're going to love it. Let's start with a little bit of this. Hello and a happy new year to you. I hope you are well and looking forward to an exciting, profitable and fruitful, healthy new year 2024. Lots of new ideas, lots of new projects. I'm sure you have, I have some, lots of new things coming this year that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing this topic, right? Meetings. We're going to be talking about different kinds of meetings, how we describe meetings, the language that we need when we talk about meetings. So that's up for today. That's today's topic. In a moment, I'll tell you more about it. A big hello to those of you who are new and those of you who are not new. Welcome back. Lovely to see you here. Let's see who's in the house. The first person in was Alina was there. Lovely to see you, Alina. Panjabanjati. Hello, everybody. And all the way from Nepal, we have Symbol Sisir. Lovely to see you as well. And from Tunisia, Ashraf Salih. Nice to see you. El Khatabi Famille. I can just about see your flag, but I'm trying to make it out. It's too small for me. My eyesight, right? Malaka from Sri Lanka. Lovely to see you here as well. Nice, lovely. We've also got people from Indonesia, from all around the world, right? Lots of places. We've got Munir from Morocco. Lovely to see you here. Richard from Ghana. Hi there. Great to see you. Anna, nice to see you back again. I know you're one of the regulars here. Precious lessons. Thank you so much. That's very, very, very kind. Let's get started. Absolutely, let's get started. Creative Wings from India. Lovely to see all of you. Listen, welcome to today's live lesson about meetings. The lesson will be about an hour and a half, more or less. So if you get tired, have a nap. If you get thirsty, have a drink. I've got my tea. And if you get hungry, wait. No eating in class, please. So before we kick off, I was just going to say a big thank you. I got this lovely letter. Where is it? It was over here. It was an email, but it was so nice. And it made my day. And I wanted to share it with you. It says, "Hi Keith, thank you very much for your email. I'll check the resources you mentioned. As you can see, not only do I love English right now, but I started exploring French." So this is a student who was on the gold course and they got the score they needed and they've started learning French in addition to English. And she says, "Thank you so much for your wonderful guidance. As of next month, I'll be pursuing my dream of studying electrical and computer engineering at the University of British Columbia," which is great. So she managed to get into the university. And it was interesting because she says, "In my whole life, English has been a stumbling block, something difficult for me. Though after your course and videos, my whole life has moved to a higher step. And I'm popping into your Zoom calls to brush up on my speaking skills before the move." So this is Hanan, and she's a great, great student. She joined the course over a year ago. And the great thing about joining the gold course is you can come back. You get lifetime access. So she's coming back into the Zoom meetings and participating with us. And it's great. I love it. It's nice to see that. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm going to tell you briefly, some of you, if you want to connect with me, yes, I'm on YouTube. Most of you are probably here on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram a little bit. Not very much, but a little bit. And of course, my website, the Key Speaking Academy. If you don't know the website, I recommend you go and check it out. The Key Speaking Academy has resources to help you speak English confidently and ace the IELTS speaking test. There are free live lessons like this one, and you can download the PDF. Last time we did music. By the way, so it's the first Thursday of every month. And you can get all of these free live lessons. You just click on the link. We've got work, we've got study, we've got fitness, all of them. You just click on a link and you get the free lesson there. If you want to know more about IELTS speaking, about the format of the test and how it works, about IELTS speaking topics, you can find out about that on the website. And if you want some tips, there are literally hundreds of tips to help you become a confident speaker. How to practice the 3-step method, how to use correct grammar. Lots of articles and tips all there on the website. And of course, I have the online courses. The main course is the IELTS Speaking Gold course. And that is basically, there's lots of stuff there. It's helping you build up your English speaking skills so you can prepare for IELTS and get the score you need. Most students are looking for a 7, but we have students going for an 8 and 8.5 as well. You can learn more about the course. It's $197, but if you're on YouTube, you can get it cheaper. There is a link. There is a link in the YouTube as you're watching this video. In the description, you can get a discount via that if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube and get on it. Sort yourself out, right? YouTube. If you are on YouTube, by the way, please do remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. It's always helpful for me on the channel. So please do that. That will be a big help. Right. Today's lesson. Let's get cracking. What's going on in today's lesson? Let me tell you what we're going to do in today's lesson. It's all about meetings, right? As you can see here. We're going to look at the topic of meetings, and I'm going to talk about, first of all, we'll start looking at the vocabulary you need to talk about this topic. We'll go on to talk about what makes a good meeting. Maybe like this or maybe not. I don't know if you've seen The Office. This is the American version. Hilarious, really, really funny. We'll look at what makes a good meeting. We'll look at some idioms, right? Different idioms we've got. For example, to beat around the bush. What does that mean, to beat around the bush? What's that all about? Well, you can find out as we look at different idioms on this topic. We'll also be looking at how to describe meetings. My God, more meetings. Describing meetings, I guess, well, for me, having been a project manager, I was an educational project manager for many years. I've got lots of experience of meetings, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we're going to be sharing. The great thing about bad meetings is it's a great way to learn. If you give a bad meeting or you attend a bad meeting, you can always learn how to get better. And that's the positive thing. So we'll be looking at how we describe meetings. And I want to do an exercise today that focuses on pronunciation and listening skills. Those two are like together. They just like connect with each other. Pronunciation and listening. We'll be doing that later in the lesson. And of course, we'll finish up with a game of Kahoot, which is where we review... It's where we speak English. It's where we review the language we've learned in today's live lesson in a fun and entertaining way. So that's it. That's what's in store. About an hour and a half. Sound good? Excellent. I hope so. Great. Now then, let's see. Okay. Guys, let's have a look. I'm going to begin. I've got a question for you up here. When I say meeting, what words do you think of? Right? When I say the word meeting, what words do you think of? Maybe you think of like exciting or boring or interesting or opportunity. Just write down in the chat 1 or 2 words you think of when I say meeting, right? Excellent. Oh, hang on. Let's do it. I'm going to turn this on. And I'll put this on full screen so you can see what I'm doing. When I say meeting, what words do you think of? Right. This will be updating in a moment. Why? Why do I have a meeting? Let's wait. It takes a few moments to click on. Whilst we're waiting for that to pick up your comments, let me share them directly with you up here. People said convention, agenda, interesting, conference, team building, time consuming, absolutely, nice one. Boring, yeah, maybe. Sedentary, very interesting. Coordination, okay. Brainstorming, very interesting. What else? Gathering. Job interview, interesting. Tedious, problem. Make an appointment. I am excited. Relevant. Okay, good. Good. Some very interesting. Excellent. So boring. Interaction. So it can be positive and negative, right? It can run either way, positive or negative. What else? Challenging. Work. Meeting minute. Get to the point. Aha. Nice. Useful. An opportunity. Excellent. Julia, being very frank, mundane meeting if the organizer drones on and on. That's a lovely expression, Julia. Very good. Let me help you tidy up just so that everybody can pick up to drone on and on. I like it. The organizer drones on and on. To drone on is to talk in a boring way. You know the sound of a drone? It goes. If the speaker is talking like, oh yeah, welcome everybody to today's meeting, it's like a drone. Boom, boom. To drone on. Lovely, Julia. Thank you for sharing. Really, really nice. Conference, we've got also. Exciting. Excellent. Good. Some interesting ideas. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's turn off the jazz. I know. I'd like to keep on the jazz, but I'm going to turn it off for the moment. So that's interesting. Lots of different words you're thinking of. Let's do a quick warm-up. I'd like you to fill in the gaps here with just one word. Okay. Again, write in the chat the word. Can we meet blank on Tuesday at 4 p.m? What's the missing word? Number 2, we need to blank the agenda for this meeting. We need to blank the agenda for this meeting. There may be different words that are possible. Just write down in the chat what you think is possible. Let's have a look. Pepe, saw your message. Lovely. Good. Right. Lovely. Some very, very good answers there, right? So the most popular here was up. Can we meet up? Which I think absolutely would be the most natural one to use here. Can we meet up on Tuesday? Some people said again. Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. Can we meet again on Tuesday? Why not? That works as well. Any others we had? Can we meet you? Again, that would work. Grammatically, that works. Absolutely. So it depends, of course, on the context, but absolutely, those are good. I think that's the most basic. Can we meet up? We need to... So we've got arrange was given, discuss. Both of those, absolutely, to arrange and discuss the agenda. The agenda is the plan for the meeting, the topics you're going to discuss, right? Can we set the agenda? Nice. Set the agenda. Lovely. What else did we have? Can we fix? Somebody said, yep, fix and set are very, very similar. Or decide. So to fix is to decide and make clear or make certain. Any others we've got? Set. Can we? Yeah, we've got that. We've got that. Prepare. Discuss face to face. Yes. Prepare is up there. Whoops. Prepare the agenda. So all of those. There are many possibilities. I think those are probably the most common ones that we can have up there. Okay, great. Excellent. Good. I'm just going to share Pepe's comment because Pepe, thank you so much. I know you've been working very, very hard in the course. Pepe is on the gold course with us, and she says, hello, Keith. I got a band 7 on my exam. Thank you so much for the out of the world lessons and the breakout room speaking practice with all the wonderful students. It's the thing about the gold course, right? Is it really does. It's not just about the course. It's about the other students on there. In that course, you're interacting with other students through the breakout rooms, where there are 2 or 3 students together. You can practice and practice everything that you're learning. So pleased, Pepe, for you. Very, very happy. Congratulations with that. That's lovely. Now then, let's move back to the next bit, vocabulary. Okay, we're going to start speaking about vocabulary for the topic of meetings. So starting at the very basic, right? To meet someone, as we said, more formally is to have a meeting. I can meet a friend, I can meet a colleague, it can be business or casual with friends. Have a meeting is more formal, right? If you have a meeting, you don't normally have a meeting with friends. Not really, right? You have a meeting with work, colleagues, clients, things related to work. It's more formal. Informally with friends, we say to meet up. To meet up can be with friends, but it can also be with colleagues, right? It can be both. It can be friends or colleagues, but it just sounds a bit more informal. So when we said, can we meet up on Tuesday at 4 p.m., that could be with a friend, but that could be with a colleague at work. Okay, both of those are fine to meet up. Or get together, to get together. Again, it could be with family, with friends. It could be with colleagues. You could say that, absolutely. Let's get together. But it's just a bit more informal. So if you're speaking to the CEO or the boss, you might say, have a meeting, rather than get together. But if you're speaking to your colleagues in the office, you may say, listen, let's get together at 6 o'clock. Yep, let's get together. We could get together over a coffee. We could get together in the conference room. Conference room, meeting now. Or this is a verb, but it's also a noun, a get together. a noun with the hyphen, it's a get together, which is normally this is not a meeting. This is family and friends gathering for a dinner or a party. So a get together is more party rather than meeting. Okay. So an example here in a more family context. Let's meet up with your family for a meal on Friday, and then we can get together with my family the following day. Okay. So in this case, I've used it informally with family. Okay. But it could be used informally at work. This is often, it's the typical situation, right? Often at, I think at Christmas and a New Year, where you maybe meet up with your family on Christmas Day, and then you get together with your in-laws, your spouse's family, the next day, Boxing Day. It's a typical thing we do in the UK, right? Okay. Lee says, I met up my colleagues yesterday. Now this is interesting, Lee. Very, very interesting. We talked about the Keith speaking course. It's an interesting topic because everyone thought Keith was a professional client. So that's very, very nice. Lee, lovely. It gives me a great opportunity to help you and everybody here. I met up. Now, if it's meeting up with people, then you need with. I met up with, right? You can see that here. It's fine to say, let's meet up. But if you're talking about who, you need with. I met up with my colleagues. Let's meet up with your family. Yeah? Fantastic. Great. Lovely. Daniela, I can see you. Yes, you're there. I can see you now. Lovely. Very, very nice. Another comment. Oh, Zilal, this is very kind of you. I'm lucky to catch your lesson today. It's lovely to see you here. You jumped from a 5 to 7.5. Holy moly, that is incredible. And now you're in Illinois. Wow. Thank you so much for the motivation, and well done you. That's awesome. Really good. Nims, can we use the phrase touch base? I want to touch base on upcoming projects. Yes, you can. You can use touch base as in to meet up, stay in touch with either family and friends or colleagues. I want to touch base on upcoming projects. Perfect. That's nice. Yes, very, very nice. Brian, what is Boxing Day? Boxing Day is the 26th of December. It's just, I don't know if it's only Britain, but we have that. Saima says, I met up with my supervisor. Perfect. That's it. Very, very nice. I love it. Mola Royim says, the last time we got together with my classmates, yes, was a day before New Year, but I couldn't really catch up with all of them. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. To catch up with is to get the latest news from somebody. Yes. So let me add those two. To touch base with someone, and to catch up with someone. To catch up with someone is to get the latest news. To touch base is just to meet and get up to date. To be honest, it's very, very similar, right? I think it's very, very similar. To touch base, to catch up with. Let's add the with. Let's make it so you're clear, right? You need that with if you're going to say, if you say who. Nice. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for these wonderful contributions. Best students in the world. Now, if you're organizing a meeting at work, you can say to hold a meeting, like to hold a ball, to hold a meeting, we say to hold court. To hold court is where it's more old English, but to hold court, C-O-R-U-T, is where you're speaking to a group of people. So the idea of you hold a meeting is you're organizing a meeting, you're in charge. To call a meeting, I'm going to call a meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The idea that you're calling people traditionally on the phone, or, oi, tomorrow, 6 o'clock, in the conference room now. You're calling people to come to the meeting, but we say to call a meeting. I'm going to call a meeting. To host a meeting, again, if you're in charge, if you are the organizer and you're going to chair the meeting, right, then you can host. You're the host, and to host. So it's a noun and a verb. To set up, we talked about, or to schedule. To schedule. And everyone's going to write, Keith, is it schedule or schedule or schedule? Schedule or schedule? Both are correct. One is more American, one is more British. Schedule or schedule? I say schedule. And of course, to go to a meeting is to attend a meeting. To go to a meeting, right? To go to a meeting as a participant. Okay. So you've got the host is the organizer. The participant is the person who attends the meeting. Okay. That's fairly straightforward, I think. Shazod, can you give me your glasses? Do you like my glasses? How interesting. Saima, I got my 7 in IELTS and started my PH journey. Congratulations. So pleased to hear that. That's great. Really, really good. Hussein says, Mr. Keith, what about if I say keep in touch? Keep in touch with in case of need. For instance, keep in touch with in case of need. Right. Yes. Absolutely. So keep in touch with in case needed. I would say, yeah. Let's keep in touch with each other in case it's needed. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Absconding a meeting, not really. That's not a very common thing to say. No. I'm going to arrange a meeting soon. Yes, great, good. Keith is the host of today's meeting. Yes, exactly. Yes. I knew this would happen. I knew people would focus on the pronunciation. Schedule. Please hang tight in the meeting for another 5 more minutes, whether we will call it off or not. Okay, all of that is good. Excellent. Whether we will call it off. Yes, more context is needed, but yes, what you've written is correct. So moving forward, moving forward. Let me just bring us up to date. We're talking about meetings. Yep. We're looking at the vocabulary of meetings, the very basics, but let's talk about what makes a good meeting. Okay, what makes a successful meeting? So I'm going to ask you guys, I've got so many buttons to press. It's so complicated teaching online. Which button do I press now? Press this button. Yes, great. What makes a successful meeting? Let me know in the comments what you think makes a successful meeting. Do some reggae. Interesting. For sure. Maybe. Nice. Hey, your avatar is the same color as my overlay. Polite. Nice. Interesting. Yep. Oh. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's important as well. Sam, good point. Ruslan, Al-Kabarov, also very good point. Yeah. Interesting. Love that. Respect. You, Elio. Priority number 1, snacks and drinks. Otherwise, I'm not going. It's a good point. They can help. Hydration is so important, right? Which reminds me, thank you for reminding me. Love that, Marcos. Nice. Yeah, results oriented. Yep, there were. Good. Good, okay. Adam says agenda topic selection. Gesture. Gesture. What do you mean by gesture? Do you mean like hand gestures or facial gesture, maybe? Yeah, Dina, that's a good point. You know, everybody should know what the meeting is about. Great. Gongxi Fa Tai. That looks like the Chinese cat that does they have in the Chinese shops. So what makes a successful meeting? Let's have a look. Here are some ideas on what can make a meeting a successful one. Let's have a look. So first of all, adding to what you've said, I would agree, having a well-organized and enthusiastic chairperson, right? So you talked about good attitude, smiling, good mood, all of that. Yes. Good mood, good attitude. Yeah, absolutely. All of those really, really important. I mean, maybe not the most important, but yes, play a role. Having a clear and shared agenda. So some of you talked about sharing the agenda, having an agenda. So the agenda is basically your plan, right? It's what you're going to talk about, what you're going to discuss. So not only having it, but sharing it with the other people. Otherwise, they don't know. Ideally, share before the meeting. Good organization. Lovely. All of you, I think, not all of you, most of you said, come on, Keith. A lot of you said organization, preparation, good planning. Yep. Having a clear purpose, goal, and outcome. Yes. So we have an expression, I'll call that have a results-oriented approach. Oops, come down. Have a results-oriented approach. Results-oriented is a lovely adjective. It means you're focused on results, right? It's not about the process, it's the results. That said, right, it depends on the meeting, because some meetings are just brainstorming ideas and you don't need a clear result. Your only result is lots of ideas. You don't need a solution. Some meetings need a solution, solving a problem. Other meetings don't. They're just creative. So it does depend on the meeting, right? But for the language, your English, results-oriented approach is good. Having a clear purpose, goal or outcome. Nice language we can use, yep. Also, setting the ground rules. Well, maybe, right? Now, the ground rules, well, you know the rules. The ground is the floor. It means the basic rules, right? So basic rules, the ground rules are when you start a class with children or when you have a meeting with adults, you say at the beginning, listen, some simple rules. Be polite. Don't interrupt. And if you have a question, please raise your hand. For children, for adults, maybe not. But maybe if you have a question, write it down and ask me at the end. Maybe. Okay. So these are the ground rules. No eating in class. No eating in the meeting. That's a ground rule. It's a basic rule. Okay. So that's another. I'm going to highlight the useful collocations, right? These are useful collocations. Shared agenda. That's great. Good mood. That's a nice collocation. Setting the ground rules. So it's the basic meeting rules, right? What you're allowed to do and not allowed to do. Also, we've got good time management. Yeah. Have you ever been in a meeting where the people say, listen, we're gonna meet for half an hour, and an hour later you're still stuck in the meeting because there's no time management. It just goes on and on and on and on, droning on, like Julia said. Good time management. So time management, another very common collocation, but a nice one to learn. Getting everyone involved. Now that's an important role. Somebody mentioned leadership, right? And being a good chair to get everyone involved. Listening carefully also helps, right? Absolutely helps. Being participative, working as a team. Maybe sometimes, again, working as a team, it depends on the meeting. If the meeting is just to tell people information, you don't need to work as a team. But if the meeting is brainstorming, maybe you need to work more as a team. Okay, so lots of ideas there in addition to yours. What else have we got? We've got things like contribution by everyone, right? That's getting everyone involved, absolutely. A sense of humor, it does help. It's not essential, but it can help. Christmas 222, to know its purpose and to stick to it. Very good point, right? To stick to the agenda. Yeah. I could maybe add that because that's a nice. We're gonna look at some more language in a minute. To stick to the goal or the agenda. It's a nice collocation. It's a very common one. Excellent. Good. Oh, there's so many comments. It's amazing. Clear purpose, work like a team. Eye contact. That's probably helpful. Let's say definitely helpful. Positive talk. Yes. Not being negative, but being positive. Ahmadi Sharam, as far as I'm concerned, having good energy, making a joke. Yeah, again, good energy, absolutely. Making a joke, it can help. It can definitely help, yeah. Okay, lovely. Lots of comments. Thank you, all of you, for all of these comments. Now, if you're interested, there are some more guidelines here. I'm going to ask Burns to share this with you in the chat. Basically, it's mind tools, running effective meetings. Let me just show you. I can show you over here. It's an interesting article, and I like it because the language is very easy, right? There are good meetings and there are bad meetings. Bad meetings drone on. Do you remember that? Drone on. Never get to the point. Yes. Effective ones leave you energized and feeling that you've accomplished something. And this article just goes through things like set a clear objective, right? We talked about that. A clear goal, a clear objective. Do you want a decision? Do you want to generate ideas? So there are different kinds of meetings. Use time wisely, time management, okay? Time is a precious resource. So I like this article because it's quite simple English, but some really useful language to talk about meetings. So you can have a look, go through it. There's lots of stuff there. Get feedback. That's interesting, right? For your next meeting as well. And there's all these notes. So I'll let you have a look at that. It's really interesting. This website, Mind Tools, I think is a treasure trove. It's got everything you need about work, right? There's lots of stuff about meetings, better meetings, dialogue mapping, planning a workshop. But it's not just about meetings. It's actually all about everything to do with work, with your professional life. So if you are starting your professional life or in the middle of your professional life and you want to learn more, Mind Tools, go and check it out. This is not a sponsored slot. I just really like this website. I used to use this 20 years ago. This website has been around a long time and it has so much stuff in there. It's called Mind Tools. I really recommend it. I think you should go and check it out. And Burns has just shared the link with you in the chat there on Facebook and on YouTube. Excellent. Nice. Good. Let's have a drink. It's always good to have a drink. Now then, good and bad meetings. I'm going to show you a short video, right? Watch the start of this meeting. Do you think this is going to be a productive meeting or a useless meeting? So just from the start of this meeting, what do you think? Will it be productive or useless? Let's get ready. We're going to watch. Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready to watch. Carolyn, I'm drinking tea. It's Yorkshire tea. Would you believe it? Yorkshire tea, which is tea sold in England. I got it sent out. What am I talking about? I got it in the Carrefour shop. Roshona, do you have listening, reading, writing lessons of IELTS? On the website, there is a reading and a writing course by my friends Eli and Fiona. They're really, really good. On the KeithSpeakingAcademy.com. Excellent. I can see the thumbs up. Okay, so there's the question. Do you think this is going to be productive or useless? Let's watch and find out.
Welcome, everyone. I circulated the agenda the other day, but a quick recap. The goal of today's meeting is to decide when the product launch meeting will be, and everyone's role in that launch. For new members of the team, some housekeeping first. The toilets are on the second floor. We will be having lunch together after this meeting in Lucky Star Cafe. Can I also just set some ground rules? Please no eating in the meetings, and feel free to chip in with any questions as we go along. No need to wait till the end. Jack will take minutes and also be our timekeeper, and I am obviously the chair. Okay, let's kick off. The first item on the agenda is...
Interesting, right? What do you think? Do you think that is going to be a productive or a useless meeting? Let me know. Mirnawati, you also drink Yorkshire tea. Great. Nice. What do you think? Productive or useless? Masumrana. When you say the live course, you mean this lesson is live? Yes. Productive. Productive. Hi, Eva. Nice to see you. Uh-huh. Marta. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Nice. Happy teacher. Lovely. Interesting. Interesting. Nice to get some different opinions. Professional. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Great. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's going to be productive. It will be a productive meeting, most likely because, well, the way he's presenting, he's not telling jokes, not smiling much, but I think he has good energy. But very organized, well planned, right? There's an agenda, there's a goal, people know what's happening, and so on and so forth. So I would agree. I think that is going to be a productive meeting. I would like now, let's watch again. Sorry, that's McDonald's. I don't know where that came from. I don't like McDonald's, really. No. Watch again and note any useful language. In particular, collocations, right? So watch again and make a note just in the chat of any useful collocations, and then we'll have a look at them together. Ready? Excellent. Let's do it one more time with our friend.
Welcome, everyone. I circulated the agenda the other day, but a quick recap. The goal of today's meeting is to decide when the product launch meeting will be, and everyone's role in that launch. For new members of the team, some housekeeping first. The toilets are on the second floor. We will be having lunch together after this meeting in Lucky Star Cafe. Can I also just set some ground rules? Please no eating in the meetings, and feel free to chip in with any questions as we go along. No need to wait till the end. Jack will take minutes and also be our timekeeper, and I am obviously the chair. Okay, let's kick off. The first item on the agenda is...
Okay, we've got quick recap. Nice. I like that very much. Well done. Well spotted. Circulate. Good. The agenda. Nice, Stephen. Well done. And this one. Well done. Yes. Faith. Well spotted. Yes. Daniela. Great. Ground rules as well. Yep. And Tui Lien got the ground rules. Adam. Nice. Very, very nice. Chip in with, well spotted, Leo, very well spotted. And set ground rules, great. So you're building up the chunks, really, really nice. Teamwork, well done, all of you. Akte Omi, kick off, nice. Like the football match, right? The football match kicks off and the meeting kicks off. Excellent, good. Any others that are new or different? Masum Rana says housekeeping and timekeeping. Okay, excellent. And the other one I noticed, as Tolga says, take minutes. Take minutes, not minutes. Take notes, right? Excellent. Let's have a look. Let's have a look together at some of those useful phrases. So he said, welcome everyone. I circulated the agenda. So yeah, here circulated just means to share, right? To share the agenda or the plan, as we say. But a quick recap, that's nice. A recap is a summary, yeah? It's just a quick summary. A quick recap. So it's good at the beginning of a lesson to do a recap, at the beginning of a meeting, maybe to do a recap. It's basically a summary, if you like, a quick recap. The goal of today's meeting is to decide everyone's role. So he tells what the goal is. The goal is to decide. So it's clearly about making decisions, which is a really good thing to say. It's not about giving ideas. It's about making decisions. Some housekeeping. So housekeeping is used in meetings. Housekeeping, obviously, in your home means... well, what does it mean, housekeeping? It's looking after the house. So it's cleaning the house, taking care of stuff in the house, washing the clothes, blah, 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 blah. But in a meeting, housekeeping is what you say at the beginning. It's the organization of the physical place. Kind of where the toilets are upstairs. We'll finish at 6 o'clock. We're going to have some snacks in the meeting. It's kind of the logistics or the practical stuff related to the physical space you're in. So normally we only talk about housekeeping when the meeting is in a new building, like a conference, and people don't know where the toilet is or they don't know where lunch will be. That's the housekeeping. Very, very useful for conferences, right? Housekeeping. Toilets are on the second floor. We'll be having lunch together after this meeting. Can I also set some ground rules? Okay, we've talked about that, about the basic rules. No eating in the meetings, right? That's a ground rule. No eating in the meetings. Feel free to chip in with any questions. So to chip in with any questions, to chip in is the phrasal verb, but you can learn the whole phrase, right? Do chip in with any questions. To chip in is to contribute or it's to interrupt, but in a polite way. To chip in, to contribute, let's say, is probably a better. So chip in. So for example, if you're organizing a meeting and you're the chair and some people in the meeting are very quiet, you can say, would you like to chip in with an idea? What do you think? Would you like to chip in? Would you like to contribute? Right? Chip as in fish and chips. Maybe. To chip in. Feel free, right? Feel free means, please do. It's a way of saying you're welcome to do it. No need to wait till the end. Jack will take minutes. So take minutes is to take notes, take meeting notes. Jack will take minutes and also will be our timekeeper. I mean, this is very, very, very well organized. Most meetings don't have a timekeeper, but this is very organized. And I'm the chair, okay? So do notice the chair has different meanings. A chair is something to sit on, but it's also a person who manages the meeting. And to chair as a verb is to manage a meeting. To manage a meeting. Can you see what I'm writing? No. A chair. So it has two meanings, yeah? It's what you sit on, but it's also a person who manages a meeting. And to chair. How interesting. English is so interesting. To chair a meeting, to manage a meeting. Nice. Very, very nice. When it comes to running a good meeting, organization is important. So just to recap some useful language. We talked about setting an agenda, circulate an agenda, follow the items on an agenda, right? And to stick to, which is the same, to stick to the agenda. So these are really good collocations, right? You should try and learn these collocations. We've said to chair a meeting, to take the minutes. So it's always take the minutes. It's the official notes for a meeting. I don't know why they're called minutes. It's got nothing to do with time, but there we go. Other expressions here, save your questions to the end. So save your questions is the idea of keep your questions to the end, or chip in with your questions anytime. Chip in or chime in. Chime in. It's the same meaning, to contribute. Chime in, to contribute. Okay. Excellent. Good. Rani Mangrio, can I give you some advice? If your English is weak, that is okay. When you're learning a new language, everybody is weak. But just take time and keep going. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid you cannot learn, you won't learn. Change your mindset from fear, afraid, to confident. I can learn. If you think you can, you probably can, right? Be confident you can learn. And keep going, right? Really, keep going. The fact that you're here is fantastic. That's great. You're already on the right track, my friend. Good. We've got Anna. Nice to hear from you again. Meeting is something special and unusual. Yep. He chaired very well. Nice. Good English. Very, very good English. Take the meeting minutes. Yep. Absolutely. Great. Dervish says, I like the phrase ground rule. So do I. Yeah, it's nice, right? Nilofor, can I share this with everybody? Nilofor Saber, this is nice. I'm thrilled to share some exciting news. I recently got my score. Wow, I achieved a band 8 in the speaking part. Whoa, let me give you a round of applause. That is lovely. Nilofor, you're very, very, very welcome. And I'm really happy for you. That is great news. Well done. Nice. Great. Simon says, we chip in our question anytime in your... Yes, you do. Exactly. Yes, we chip in. So we chip in with our questions. Let me just add with, right? It's great. So it's chip in, and I'm going to emphasize it here. Chip in with your questions or with your ideas. Yeah. Lovely. I like that. Thank you. Anything else? Arfin says, meetings are far engaging when the participants are encouraged to chip in. I agree. Absolutely. I totally agree. Yes. Meetings, let me help you a little bit, are far engaging. If you're making a comparison there, you want to say are far more engaging. Far is the emphasis, but you need more, right? Far more engaging. That's great. Thank you for sharing. We're helping everybody learn. Really, really nice. Great. Good. Excellent. Good. So let me switch for a moment. Let me take you off, Arfin, and let's see. Ooh, where are we next? Where are we next? Let's check. What makes a good meeting? We've been discussing what makes a good meeting, right? I'm going to move on to look at some idioms to talk about meetings. Idioms to talk about meetings. In all of my live lessons, I do have idioms, right? In all of the live lessons, I do 1 or 2 idioms. I think it's really important to learn idioms in context. Idioms are a small part of your vocabulary. So they're not hugely important, but they are important. If you're doing IELTS speaking test, you must use idioms to get a band 7 or 8. You need some use of idiomatic language. The trouble is, idioms are very, very hard to learn. They're easy to look at, they're easy to see, but they're more difficult to use correctly. So context is all important and practice is important. I'm going to do a quick advertisement. Let me show you. It's not an advertisement. It's a notice. I've got a little thing here. Where is it? Come on, my friend. Where are you? Or maybe it's gone. Is it this one? No. It's gone. I did have one and I've lost it. But basically, oh, here it is. Yes. I've got an idioms course coming very, very, very soon. There it goes. 150 idioms for IELTS speaking. It's been released in the second part of January, towards the end of January. It's a brand new course. It's really focused on building up your knowledge of idioms and understanding. So you understand the use, the pronunciation, the meaning, the context, and to start practice using them so you can use them more effectively. That's coming soon. So keep your eyes open. It's on its way. It will be coming in the next few weeks. That's what I wanted to say. For now, let's jump into some idioms to talk about meetings. First up, to begin a meeting, we can say, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. To get the ball rolling, I mean, literally, this is my new agenda. Ball. And if we get the ball rolling, I mean, that's get the ball rolling, is to start, right? To start the action. So get the ball rolling just means let's start. Typically used in meetings, but you could use it for other things. Let's get the ball rolling. For when you're starting an activity. But the most common, I think, is in meetings, right? Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. You'll notice here, get and the, if I show you, get and the T is in the same place. So actually, we connect them, right? We don't say get the, we say get the. Get the. Can you see the difference? Get the. Get the. Get the. I mean, you could say get the, but more natural, easier spoken English is get the. Get the. Get the. Get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling. Feel the rhythm. Get the da 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 da. Get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling. Say. Try again. Get the ball rolling. Better. Good. Let's get down to business. Again, starting is to begin. Let's get down. And we've got the same thing. The t and the d is at the front. Your tongue touches the back of your teeth. Get down. Get down. So it's the same thing. Get down. Rather than get down, which is hard, get down. Let's get down to business. D, 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 D. Let's get down to business. Try again. Let's get down to business. You're getting this. You're getting it. And finally, it's time to roll up our sleeves. Sleeves, literally. I'll have to show you here. Sleeve, roll up. Literally is to roll up. When you're beginning work, you roll up your sleeves, right? It's idiomatic because you can literally roll up your sleeves, but you don't have to. So when you start a meeting, you say, right, guys, let's roll up our sleeves. And it's very much about let's get ready for hard work. It's not just the beginning, but it's get ready for hard work. Let's roll up our sleeves. But you don't have to roll up your sleeves. It's an idiom, right? Okay, great. 3 simple idioms. To keep people focused in a meeting, we can say, don't beat around the bush. The bush is a small tree. I can probably show you is the best way to do it. If I can use Google is always the best one. Bush. You can guess what it gives me, right? For bush. It gives me this. So Bush is the ex-president of the United States, but it's also, it's this. It's a small kind of tree, if you like. That's the bush. Thank you, Mr. Bush. So to beat around the bush, if you imagine somebody who is going round and round the bush, then they're not being direct. They're wasting time talking about so many things. We also say to go round the houses. When you go round to each person's house, instead of going direct. So beat about the bush is not direct, right? So you would say, don't beat around the bush. Please get to the point. Okay. Let me just put those down, right? To beat around the bush, or to beat about the bush. You could say beat about as well. Equals to be indirect with your speech, right? Or your action. Same thing to go around the houses is the same thing. I'm a bit obsessed with font and presentation, aren't I? Okay, to beat around the bush, to go around the houses, and the opposite, get to the point, to be direct. Normally in your speech, it could be in your action, but normally it's a speaking thing, right? Right. Hey, Farjana, Ferdowsi, I can see your comment. That's great. That's nice. That's so nice to see. Have you changed your avatar? I'm wondering, or is it the same one? Farjana is on the gold course, which we talked about earlier. And she says, it's the best and most crucial decision in my life. Transforms my life daily. Wow. That's so nice to hear. I'm so pleased to hear that. Thank you, Farjana. Great to hear. Lovely. Semra says, I missed the lesson. Can I watch it again later? Yes, you can. This lesson is recorded, so you can watch it on YouTube or Facebook later. Sure. Yes. So we've got any other comments related to this? Let's get the ball rolling to chip in the contributor questions. Yes, yes, you could say that. Yes. Could it be used to say instead of kick off? Yes, to kick off. Yeah, well, let me add that. Let's kick off. Absolutely. To kick off is to begin the meeting. Fatima, my voice just changed. I can't absolutely believe. Is that with the practice, right? With the pronunciation practice. Keep going. Don't beat around the bush. Let's get down to brass tacks. Oh, that's nice, Julia. That's very, very nice. Yes. Get to the point. Let's get down to brass tacks. To get to the point, or like the nitty gritty. Get down to the nitty gritty. Yeah. Ah, there's an Eminem song, right? I didn't know that. Eminem song. Interesting. Okay, excellent. Irina says it is important to be on the same page during the meeting. Yes, to be on the same page means to be in agreement, right, with your ideas. Excellent, good. I'm just going to add a couple more. When it comes to working as a team, here are some other idioms that you can use as well. Put your heads together. So literally put your heads together, work together. Work hand in hand. Hand in, not on, but in. Hand in hand. It's like ASMR. Hello. Hand in hand, right? To collaborate. Two heads are better than one, meaning more people, more ideas. More people, more ideas, which is better. Okay. So these are about the body, the head, the hand, the head. They're using body words, but we're talking about meetings. Okay. Collaborating, working together. Great. Put your heads together. Let me do this one with you. Now, you can say, put your heads together. That's okay, right? Often we link put your, or put your, ch. It's like church, chip, ch, chore. Put your heads. Try after me. Put your heads. Listen carefully. Chore. Put your heads. Put your heads together. D. Repeat that. There's a strong stress on the end. D. Put your heads together. Put your heads together. We're in the meeting. Put your heads together. Okay. Great. Good. Now then, I'm just keeping an eye on the time. To end a meeting, we can say, let's wind up here. I always say that. It's time to wind up. To wind, it's not wind. It's not... No. Wind. Like winding, you can't see me. Like winding your clock, your watch. I know, it's all digital nowadays, but the old-fashioned watches, you would wind up. Wind up. That sounds like starting, doesn't it? But it's not. It's to finish. Let's wind up. Like you wind up, I don't know, wind up the blinds. Yes, wind up, finish. Or let's call it a day. To call it, whatever that is, a day. It's always the same chunk. Call it a day. Call it a day. Link. Call it. Lit. Call it. Try and make one sound. Call it. Call it a. Call it a day. Call it a day. Got it. So let's wind up here. Let's call it a day. Excellent. Good. Tabasumbut. If you want to get success, so put your heads together. Great. Really good practice. That's a nice sentence. But remember, it must be plural. Your heads, because you're speaking to several people, right? But really nice. Really, really good. We've got also, Tao says, put your heads together to think out the extraordinary initiatives. Okay, think of or think out. You could say think out, possibly. Yes. Great. Brian, very, very clever. Winding up a meeting might wind up people who doesn't want to leave, because to wind up a person is to make them angry. Brian, I like it. Very, very nice. Wrap up. Oh, there's another one, Tariq. Yes, let's wrap up. Let me add that one. I forgot about that. Let's wrap up. Like you wrap up a present. Yeah? If you wrap up a present, you're closing it. Let's wrap up the meeting. So do notice, I'm just going to take Tariq off for a moment. Do notice we say, let's wind up here. That's fine. Let's wrap up the meeting. You can wrap up something, yes. But let's call it a day is isolated, right? You don't say, let's call it a day, the meeting. There's no object, right? What I'm trying to say. There's no object. It's just, let's call it a day, full stop. Nothing more. Keep it simple. That's my big message when you're practicing idioms. Keep it simple. Don't make it too complicated. Practice examples very similar to what you see here. Keep it simple. That is the secret to success. Keep it simple. Absolutely. Okay. Good. Nice. Mohammed, I like this one. Really nice example. Yep. We have the same goals. So why don't we put our heads together? Very, very nice. Yes. Ahmed, this is nice. It's quite informal. It takes two to tango. I think you can use that in IELTS speaking and in conversation. It's quite colloquial for a meeting or for a business context, I would say. Maybe too much. It takes two to tango. But it depends, right? Yeah. Shekar, good question. Difference between meet somebody and meet with somebody. Really, they're the same, right? To meet somebody, meet with somebody. The meet with has a stronger feeling of collaboration, of discussing together. If I meet John at 6 o'clock, the focus is meeting, is seeing that person. Meeting with suggests there's a discussion, working together. Okay, because of with, the word with has that feeling of together, discussing together. So it's a slightly different feeling, but really the meaning is the same, but just a little bit of a different feeling. Okay, excellent. Shekhar, thank you so much for that question. I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to what's next. Where are we? We are beating around the bush. We're not beating around the bush. We are going to move on from idioms to describing meetings. And okay, we've got a little activity here. I'm going to go through this. Yeah. Yes, let's go through this. Let's have a look at this. More meetings. Okay, adjectives to describe meetings. When a meeting is good with a positive outcome, so we often say a successful meeting. You can just repeat this with me. A successful meeting. A valuable meeting. A fruitful meeting. A productive meeting. A constructive meeting. Can you see and feel the stress in English? You can actually see my head, right? Go boom, marking the stress. A successful meeting. Boom. That stress is really important. Valuable just means it has value. Fruitful, well, it means it gives fruit. Like the tree, the apple tree gives you apples. The meeting gives you outcomes, results. So fruitful is a nice word. Productive, so it's been a good use of time. And constructive, building good ideas. So all of these are really nice adjectives to describe positive meetings, right? Or a good meeting. However, when a meeting doesn't go well and it doesn't have a good outcome, we often say the following, right? Pointless. So the point is the meaning. Pointless is without meaning. Let me do pronunciation first. And watch the stress. A pointless meeting. A fruitless meeting. A difficult meeting. An inconclusive meeting. Again, an inconclusive meeting. Right. Good. So pointless, without meaning. Fruitless, there's no fruit. There's no apples. There's no result. Difficult. A difficult meeting means that it was hard work and there's no result. Often due to personality clashes, where two people's personality, boom, clash. And so you say, oh, that was a difficult meeting. It was difficult talking. There was difficult communication. Inconclusive, well, in, without, conclusion, right? Without conclusion, no conclusion. So basically no decision, no result. So we say these are very, very common to talk about meetings that are bad, that don't have a good outcome. Okay. So I'm going to move on from that to look very shortly at pronunciation and listening skills. So we have just, as we're practicing vocabulary and phrases, you're practicing writing, but as you practice, always focus on pronunciation, right? Pronunciation should be integrated in your practice. I don't think it's something separate, it's something connected to your practice. So I do encourage you to always try and practice pronunciation as you're either reading words, creating phrases. Writing in the chat is great, but also speak out loud. It's really important. So that said, I'm going to review some of the language from today's topic on meeting and focus on pronunciation and listening skills. Pronunciation and listening are like brother and sister. First, the listening is first, because if you can hear the sounds, later you can pronounce them. If you can't hear the sound, you can't pronounce it. So first is listening, right? Imagine listening is the big sister. She's first. Pronunciation is like the little brother, is second. So focus on listening and pronunciation, but use them together. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, let's look at an example. So I want you to watch this person describing a meeting he has just attended. First time we watch, let's just focus on the meaning, right? I want you to see, did the person feel happy about the meeting? And would he change anything? Okay, so just focus on the general meaning of this person. Question one, did the person feel happy about the meeting? And second, would he change anything? In the chat, you can just write yes, number one, yes or no. Number two, yes or no. Simple as that, okay? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to listen. Manaka, thank you. Bubble the Chinese cat. Love it. Futile meeting is correct. Yes, that was a futile meeting. It was a futile meeting. Yes. Futile. It was a futile meeting. Yeah, I mean, it's grammatically correct. It makes sense. I think it would depend on the context when you say it. Futile is very much about the future. If you say this meeting is going to be futile, it's going to be a waste of time. I'm not sure we would talk about past meetings like that. Maybe. All these phrases can be used for academic presentations. No, not all of them. Some of them are definitely informal spoken English. I think academic presentations like a thesis for your master's or an oral for your PhD oral presentation, you want to just be careful, right? Some of these are too informal. For IELTS speaking, all of them are perfect. For most meetings, well, for all meetings, they're great. But academic presentations, I think, is slightly more delicate. So just be careful, right? Some of them, yes, some of them, no. I know, your next question, which ones, yes? I don't have time to tell you now. Listen, let's focus on this person. Did they feel happy? Would they change anything? Are you ready? Yes, you are. You've given me the thumbs up. Let's watch. Oh, where are we? Here we are. Got it. That was the most boring and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. Oh, talk about long-winded. I thought he'd never shut up. He just went round the houses, beating round the bush. And to be honest, I don't even know what the point of the meeting was. I mean, did we really need 6 people in the room? And it would have been helpful if he'd shared the agenda beforehand. Hello. I'll tell you what, next time, I hope he organises his time better. You know, just don't let people ramble on. To be honest, I would have been better off if I'd stayed at my desk. Love it. Very interesting. I laugh at my own videos. I love it. Okay. Layla, thank you for your comment. I'm watching your comment. That's so nice. Thank you very, very much. So where are we? Did the person feel happy? Would he change anything? Let's have a look. What have we got? Negin, not happy. No, not happy. Yes, he would change. Oh, that's a cute dog, Marta. Not happy. Farjana says no and no. Did he feel happy? No. Would he change anything? No. Oh, interesting. No, not happy. Not happy, but yes, would change things. I owe you one, sir. Tell me more. Why? Bubble the Chinese cat. I think of bubble tea when I see that. The person didn't feel happy. Excellent. The last picture was ridiculous. I know, yes. 2, have a shared agenda. Right, good. That's what he would change. Yes. No, yes. Okay, exactly. So the answer, was no. Let me bring up the answers. Oh, that's not. Come on, Keith. Sort yourself out. Did the person feel happy? No. Would he change anything? Yes. And the things he would change, right? He said he would ask the chair, not the chair. No. The chair, the person, right? Organizing the meeting. Very funny. Ask the chair to control time better and don't let people ramble. To ramble is to drone on, right? Is to talk indirectly. No, well, without purpose, without goal. To talk without goal, to talk just on and on and on and on. Also circulate the agenda, remember? Circulate the agenda before the meeting. Okay, great. So you've listened and got the general idea. Let's notice next. Let's notice sentence stress, right? Let's do this together. So without stress, if I read without stress, so sentence stress means the words that you stress in a sentence. Like if you stress this or if you stress this, it's the words in the sentence. Without stress, it's like this. That was the most boring and fruitless meeting I have ever been to. Talk about long-winded. I thought he would never shut up. That's without stress. And it sounds a bit robotic, right? But if we do it with stress, notice how it changes. That was the most boring and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. And you can notice, right? You can hear, that's the most boring. And in fact, we're stressing the first word, and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. I think he stressed ever. If you want to stress in your whole life, talk about long-winded. I thought he would never shut up. And maybe you stress never. I thought he would never shut up. So the stress is important, and you don't have to do that like I do, but you do want to stress. Stress means you make it longer. Boring. Make the vowel longer. You make it louder. Boring. And you often raise the pitch. Boring. Fruitless. Can you hear? So fruitless is short, it's low. Fruitless. Higher pitch, longer, louder. Fruitless. So this stress is really important. That was the most boring and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. Talk about long-winded. I thought he would never shut up. So you're creating meaning with stress. It's really, really important. That's it. You can try, pronunciation we'll look at in a moment, but that's for listening, right? So when you're listening, I think this is really important. When you're listening in IELTS or in conversation, listen to the stressed words, because the stressed words give the meaning. Yeah? Boring, fruitless, ever. So ever means in my whole life. That's where the meaning comes from. So Really focus on stressed words. The next thing to notice is notice contractions, right? Contractions. And in fact, let me do this here. Let me do this here. Ba, 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 ba. Contractions. That was the most boring and fruitless. So when you have and in the middle, normally it becomes un. There's a contraction. Un. Boring and fruitless meeting. Have in spoken English is always going to become I've. Sorry, not always. If it's not stressed. Because we're stressing ever, then we're not stressing this. So if you don't stress a word, it becomes weak or contracted. So it's going to be I've. I thought he would is going to become he'd. I thought he'd never shut up. So it becomes, that was the most boring and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. Right? You can hear the contraction. I have, I've. So when you're listening, don't be listening for have and would, because you probably won't hear have or would. You'll hear I've, he'd. I thought he'd never, it's not even he'd, it's he'd. I thought he'd never shut up. Okay? Now, I'm focusing here on listening. If you want later, come back and you can practice the pronunciation. Just follow me, okay? But first is listening, right? Remember, the big sister, first, listening. Pronunciation, the little brother, is second. Here, the contractions as well. I mean, did we really need 6 people in the room? And it would have been, is going to be contracted to it'd of. It'd of. It'd of. It'd of. It'd of. It'd of. It'd have. You're going to usually have both of them, right? It'd of. It'd of. There's going to be a schwa sound there, but it'd of. It'd of. It'd of. So you want to be listening for it'd of, right? If you're listening for it would have, you won't hear. Listen for it'd have. It'd have been helpful if he had. If he'd shared the agenda. It'd have been. It'd have been. If he'd shared the agenda. Put them together. 6 people in the room. Helpful. Probably that's the stress. I mean, did we really need 6 people in the room? And it'd have been helpful if he'd shared the agenda beforehand. So, 2 things to notice. Listen for the stressed words and listen for contraction sounds, or be aware that contractions is where there's no stress. On unstressed words. Okay. Good. Yeah, okay. I'm going to write down 2 things here. It'd have been. You may get it would have been. I think both of those are possible, right? Because I've just noticed here, you've got it would have been. It would have been. Again, the would have becomes a would have been. Would have been. It would have been. It'd have been, it would have been. This might be easier for pronunciation, right? If he'd is actually pronounced ifid. Okay, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't want to stress you out here. What I'll do next is let me play this again and listen for these sounds, okay? Try and listen for the stressed word and just notice the sounds of the contractions, okay? Let's try it. Let's do it. That was the most boring and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. Oh, talk about long-winded. I thought he'd never shut up. He just went round the houses, beating round the bush. And to be honest, I don't even know what the point of the meeting was. I mean, did we really need 6 people in the room? And it would have been helpful if he'd shared the agenda beforehand. Hello. I'll tell you what, next time, I hope he organises his time better. You know, just don't let people ramble on. To be honest, I would have been better off if I'd stayed at my desk. So, some of you are asking about the PDF. Yes, the answer is yes. The PDF you can get after the lesson. I will edit it and put it on the website. I'll tell you that later. So with the PDF, you can come back and look at the script. You can listen again and you can notice what we've said, right? That was the most boring and fruitless meeting I've ever been to. Talk about long-winded. Long-winded just means going round the houses, right? Too long, basically. It means it's too long. A speech can be long-winded. An essay can be long-winded. I thought he'd never shut up. I thought he'd never shut up. He just went around the houses, beating around the bush. And to be honest, again, this becomes, to be honest, it's one sound. To be honest, I don't even know what the point of the meeting was, right? That was the stress. He just went around the houses, beating around the bush. And to be honest, I don't even know what the point of the meeting was. I mean, did we really need 6 people in the room? And it would have been helpful if he'd shared the agenda beforehand. I'll tell you what, next time, I hope he organises his time better. You know, just don't let people ramble on. So to talk without aim. To be honest, I would have been better off if I'd stayed at my desk. Okay, that's it. I'll let you come back in your own time and study and work with this a little bit more. So, where are we? We have been looking at describing people, and we have been looking at pronunciation and listening skills. Finally, we're going to play Kahoot. It's the final game of Kahoot for today. This is to review some of the vocabulary, okay? So just to remind you, this PDF I will put on my website, Keith Speaking Academy. I'll tell you about that later. Well, actually, okay, I'll tell you now. On the Keith Speaking Academy, if you go to free live lessons, later today, you will get this. This will be today's lesson, okay? So this is last month, but this will change. Probably later today, but it may be, give me 3 or 4 hours to do that. I know, it takes us time to do it. But come back later and you can get it there. For today, let's wrap up with Kahoot. If you've not played before, it's a game. You need to go to kahoot.it and there put in your name and the PIN. And I'm going to get set up right now. Just let me log in to my account and so we can play together. Meetings start. So basically, you need to stay with me here because I will show you the questions here, and then on another tab, or you can download the app on the phone. You then choose the answer. There are 4 answers: A, B, C, or D. They're different colors. You choose the right answer, and that's it. Oh, they've changed something. Okay, let me just show you where we are. We're getting ready to start. So you need to go to www.kahoot.it, put in your name, and the PIN is 1562000. 1562000. Okay, people are coming in. Haha, chair, love it. Eva, nice to see you here. Sem is in, Niche is in, Silver is in. Excellent. I'll give you a minute or so to just get in here, okay? Don't worry if you can't get in. You can just put your answers in the chat and we'll still see them there as well, okay? Lovely. Good. Dum 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 dum. Tabassum says, I always enjoy Kahoot. Nice. You'd like to do a speaking test with me, Mahmoudov? I'm afraid I don't do speaking tests or mock tests. Because I'm running the course, I don't have time for that. I'm sorry about that. Is it common using 2 idioms in a row of the same meaning? Not that common, but it's possible. What is very common, Eva, is using 2 adjectives or phrases with a similar meaning but a bit different, right? So it's quite common to say, oh, I was so happy, I was over the moon. I was so happy, I was over the moon. That's very common to repeat the same thing with a different way, because in spoken English, people lose, the words disappear. So it's good to repeat. 2 idioms, probably not, right? So my example, I think, was okay, beating around the bush, going around the houses. It was very emphatic. But do be careful because you can sound a bit strange if you do too many, right? Arfin says, I'm in. Great, good. Kahoot, it's a good game. Kahoot is awesome. Nice. The code, Lowell, let's switch. Let me show you. We'll take it to the game. The PIN is 156 2000. 1562000. 1562000. All right. Good. Let's get ready to start. I think most of you are in. We've got almost 100 people in. And let's kick off. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get down to business. Let's kick off. Idioms on steroids. Keith's gone mad. Right, let's do it. Are you ready? Let's go. Start. Question number 1. Meetings. I'm having a blank together with friends tomorrow night. Fine together, meet together, up together, or get together? You've got 30 seconds to answer. I'm having a blank together with friends tomorrow night. A fine together, a meet together, a up together, or a get together? And, oh, very, very good. We've got 28 people said get together, a get together, which is the right answer. A meet together? No. As a verb, you could say let's meet together, but as a noun, a meet together doesn't exist, right? It's a get together with a hyphen. So well done, guys. Let's see where we are. Chair in control is number 1. Ha ha, number 2. Powell 1, number 3. Well done. Let's go. You should set some blank rules before the meeting begins. Room, ground, floor, or chair. You should set some blank rules before the meeting begins. Room rules, ground rules, floor room rules, or chair rules. Stop laughing, Keith. Well done, Jutika Sarka. Great, good to see you here. Wow, look at that. 57 got it right. The ground rules. We talk about the ground rules are the basic rules. The room rules, we wouldn't say the room rules, no. The rules for the classroom, maybe. The rules for the meeting room, maybe. But as a collocation, room rules, no. The ground rules, right? The basic rules. No eating, no drinking, toilets on the left. Well done. Let's see if chair is still chairing. Oh, things have changed a bit. Chair is still on top. Ha second. And Sem has moved into third place. Powell dropping down to fourth. Jane is following closely as the snowman. Let's move on. Question number 3. Let's get the ball blank by introducing ourselves first. Moving, bouncing, rolling, or kicking. Let's get the ball blank by introducing ourselves first. Get the ball moving, get the ball bouncing, get the ball rolling, or get the ball kicking. Difficult one. Dareen, well done. Good to see you paying attention. Jana, well done as well. Oh, that's good, right? The vast majority, 56, said get the ball rolling. Quite a few of you had others. Moving, bouncing, kicking. No. So the expression, it's an idiomatic expression to get the ball rolling, right? To start the activity, start the meeting, start the game. Let's get the ball rolling. Well done, guys. I'm interested to see, is chair still chairing at the very, very top, or have things changed? Well, the top 3 have not changed. But Jane, disguised as a snowman, has moved up to 4th place. And Bogdan is the highest climber. All right, guys, it's the last question. Which is the odd one out? So which one is different? Fruitless, inconclusive, pointless, successful. Which one is different with a different meaning? Which is the odd one out? Fruitless, inconclusive, pointless, or successful? Jana Maninkina, well done. Great. Bulandom, well done. Exactly. Nice. 46 of you have got the correct answer. Successful. Fruitless means it gave no fruit. There was no result. Inconclusive. There was no result. Pointless. A waste of time. Successful is the only one that really means achieving the goal. Useful. Good. Fruitful, right? All the others were negative. Successful is positive. Basically, that was the answer. Okay, let's move on. That was the final question. Let's find out the podium. Who is the winner? Let's see. Sem, 3rd place. Well done. Ha is in 2nd, and I wonder. There we go. Indeed, Chair managed to stay on top in 1st place. Leading from the beginning all the way through. Well done. Football stadium. Nice. Well done, the 3 of you. Excellent. So nice to see you learning. All of you learning. Well, brilliant. Well done. Listen, we've come to the end, right? We've been having this class, this lesson all about meetings. It's been an interesting one. I hope you found it useful. We've talked about meetings. We've talked about the vocabulary to meet up to meet with somebody. We've talked about what makes a good meeting, setting an agenda, circulating an agenda, good organization, and so on. We've talked about idioms, to beat around the bush, meaning to ramble and to go around the houses, not direct, no purpose. We've talked about describing meetings as positive and negative, and also we've worked a little bit on pronunciation and listening skills. It would have been better if he'd have done this or that or another. Great, and we finished up on Kahoot. As I said, the PDF is going to be available later. It'll be there later today. If you come back later at around, I don't know, in about 3 or 4 hours, go to the website, the Key Speaking Academy. Just click on at the top, the free live lessons, and you'll be able to find it there. If you are interested in studying with me on the course, there is the Gold course to help you become a confident speaker. You can find out all about the information there. That course is $197. But listen, if you're on YouTube, go to the description below the thing that you're watching, and you'll get a discount. Let me show you, just in case you're not sure what to do. I'll show you here. I'll show you. If you are here, you're on YouTube, right? And you're watching. If you go down here at the bottom, there's a description, and it says 25%. Click on that, and that'll take you. You'll get a discount, right? Because you are a YouTuber. So the message is, guys, get yourself onto YouTube, and you can find a cheaper price for the course. But do go and check out the Key Speaking Academy. You can contact me there, or on Facebook, or on Instagram as well. You can find out more about the work that I'm doing. And if you are interested in either the Gold course is the main course you can find out there. Do remember as well that I will be later in January. I'll be publishing the Idioms course. That will be at the second half of January. So keep your eyes open for that as well. Okay. And finally, just to let you know, well, the next live lesson is going to be February. February the 1st. The 1st of February. The 1st of February. February 1 is the next live lesson. If you're on the Gold course, we have a live lesson next week and the week after. So if you want more live lessons like this, where it's very similar to this, but we do lots more activities. We do a bit more focus on IELTS speaking topics, new questions, new vocabulary to look at. We will have a Gold live lesson for all the Gold students on the 11th of January and the 18th of January. If you're interested, come and join us. Go to the Key Speaking Academy, check it out. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me today. It's been a great, great pleasure. I've enjoyed it. I'll leave you with a bit of music. What should I leave you with? A bit of rap, maybe. And then I'll see you on social media somewhere, I'm sure. Take care, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me. All the best now. Bye-bye. My pleasure. Thank you, Burns, for all your work here. It's great. You're welcome. Clever. Thank you so much, Kibar. Josefa. The YouTube lessons 10 a.m. Spain time. The Gold lessons 12 p.m. Spain time. You're welcome. Thank you, Top Edu. Thanks. Happy New Year, Anthony. Good to see you. Likewise. Thank you. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities. So do better, work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't ever say never. And turn your mind into the truest of go-getters. Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Thank you. You know I'm always honest. There ain't no way I'm never stopping. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. Nice. Great. I agree. Time to wind up. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Wishing you a lovely 2024. All the best now. Bye-bye.